Hello there, subjects of the Empire. This is Eye on the Empire, where we review Rebel holo transmissions intercepted by our agents from the Imperial Security Bureau. Today's report is on the first two episodes of Ahsoka. Before we get started, there's two disclaimers. First disclaimer, this report and all these reports may contain spoilers. Second disclaimer, this reviewer is biased. They watched only a handful of episodes of the cartoons, which Ahsoka seems to be a continuation of. It is our belief that what makes for a good cartoon episode doesn't necessarily make for a good live-action episode. A frequent criticism of this reviewer is that most of these shows feels like you're watching a cartoon and not an actual TV show. An associated critique is that these shows are written in a way that they assume the viewer has not only watched the previous live-action shows, but all the cartoons and related tie-in media. Fans might have seen it all, but the average viewer hasn't, which means plot points that are supposed to be meaningful are often meaningless to most viewers. The basic planned format for these reviews will be as follows. Going to write down our thoughts as they occur during our first viewing, and then share them here. You may disagree with these opinions, but remember, the Empire is always right. Part 1. We've got a title crawl, but it's formatted to look like a paragraph. This crawl refers to Ahsoka as a former Jedi Knight. That's something I never quite understood. It's strongly implied that after Kenobi and Yoda died, it would just be Luke Skywalker, but they keep making up these technical excuses to bring more Jedi out of hiding. That New Republic's prisoner ship's captain has got to be the most stupidest captain. He suspects something's up with that smaller ship, but he still lets them land. He wants to call the bluff, and he greets them with a security team. No, you don't do that. You know it's a trap. You could have just flown by it. If their tiny ship starts making aggressive moves, you could just blast them with your bigger and stronger ship. You don't invite them on board. Having characters do stupid things just to advance the story is bad writing. Ahsoka visits some ruins and finds a map. When she gets out of the map room, she's approached by some assassin droids that demand she gives them over the map. When it's clear that she's too strong for them to handle, the droids decide to initiate their self-destruct. Having Ahsoka run away from a giant explosion is a cool visual, but it doesn't make sense. If those droids' owner is willing to blow up the map along with the droids, it means they don't need the map. Why just not have your droids self-destruct while Ahsoka is getting the map? Boom! She's no longer a threat to your plans, and no one else has the map. As expected, this show assumes you're aware of the cartoons. They've done a good job name-dropping Thrawn enough times in this episode to drive the point home that he's going to be the next big bad. When Ahsoka tells General Twilight Lady, sorry, I don't know her name, she says, if Thrawn survived, does that mean Ezra? Now, I know who Ezra is, but if you have zero knowledge of the cartoons, does that name have any meaning? I guess Ezra is important, but in this episode, your first exposure to him is just a name. Now they give us a better introduction to Ezra as a hologram. Maybe they should have shown the scene of Sabine with the hologram of Ezra before giving us that scene of General Twilight Lady mentioning his name. The pacing of this first episode is very slow. Some scenes just drag on, dialogue exchanges are slow, People are talking in flat, even tones. I'm not feeling anything for these characters. They seem like they all have the same personality. Anakin was training Ahsoka. That's something I still don't understand. In Revenge of the Sith, the Jedi Council made it clear to his face that they didn't like him and didn't want him there. Anakin still got his own junior Jedi to teach. From the few episodes of the cartoon that I did see, he did seem to be a good teacher to her. Nothing like the whining, angst-ridden psychopath we got in the prequels. Sabrine has a fist fight with some assassin droids. Wouldn't striking your soft human flesh against that hard metal of a droid results in breaking all your bones in your hands and feet? An assassin droid runs off with the map. It's got the lead and has a good chance of escaping. Instead, it waits down below with the dark Jedi girl with blonde hair for Sabrine to catch up, just so they can have a lightsaber fight. Another case of characters doing something stupid just to advance the plot. Sabrine gets stabbed straight through the chest by a lightsaber. Guess this means she's dead. Just like Qui-Gon and Han Solo. No, wait. In Kenobi, two of Vader's Dark Jedi goons survive a lightsaber chest stabbing. Why did she stab Sabrine and then draw the blade out the same chest hole? Flick your wrist to the side and Sabrine is cut in two. And the bad guys get away with the map. Why did Sabrine take the map off the protection of Ahsoka's ship again? That seemed like a stupid action. Having stupid stuff happen just to advance the story is bad writing. That's my biggest problem with this episode. Characters making stupid decisions just so things can happen. If you're stuck somehow, figure out another way to advance your story besides having characters make stupid decisions when they really should have known better. And please, give these characters some personality in the next episode. Part 2. Sabrine lives, once again proving the lightsabers are harmless. The map shows two galaxies. Is the other galaxy the Milky Way? Is the map the cosmic key? Is Thrawn on Earth playing football with He-Man? And I'm starting to fall asleep. It is only 8:26 p.m. Oh, General Twilight Lady's name is Hera. Okay, now I know. What a boring character. She's got the least personality of them all. Maybe in this cartoon they have more personality, but in the show, yawn. And I did end up falling asleep for 20 minutes. No Baka tank treatment for Sabrine. She gets to have a scar. Ahsoka and Snake Eyes are going to have a lightsaber fight. That Archie droid, Chop, is too cute. It's annoying. Fine for a cartoon, but please no more. Sabrine should really clean up her house. She's a Mandalorian and a Jedi in training. That's the kind of stuff that children think of. I should know. My friend had the same idea when we were children. That female Neve Nub looks funny with that stupid, ill-fitting helmet. To sum things up, these two episodes were too long. You could have easily covered everything that happens in them in a single episode. I'm not hooked on the show, but I did pay to watch them, so I will. Maybe they get better. If you're well versed in the Rebel lore, I'm sure you're loving every minute of it. If not, you might not be that impressed.